Hello, everyone. Welcome to the special called meeting of the Athens Emotion Commission. Today's agenda, we are here to talk about a statement of recommendation to the Mayor and Commission regarding Lexington Road and Atlanta Highway. And I did go ahead and just put in a quick check-in on T-SPLOST 2023 presentations at the end as there is time. So with that, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Mark, second.
Second.
All right. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, same sign. All right. Daniel, did we get any public comments on the special called meeting in particular?
I have not received any in my email. I will go ahead and double check. I think we did talk about I sent out the public comments that we had received earlier. And did you want to talk on those earlier comments or just kind of move that to the next general meeting?
Let's move that to the next general meeting.
Okay. Pulling up the form right now. I should be getting alerts, so I don't believe we have any public comments, but if we do, we can. I'll bring it up and we can come back to this.
All right. All right. So moving on to the main point of our meeting is a letter of recommendation regarding Lexington Road and Atlanta Highway. I see a lot of you are signed on, have looked in this, and I think Jake had made some suggested edits. Jake, of course, former commissioner who is still part of our committees here on Athens in Motion. Appreciate him taking the time to look things over. And Teresa had left some feedback, and Daniel as well, and Randy also. So thank you all for your thoughts on that. I will open the floor for brief discussion, but I'm hoping that we can entertain a motion to either to approve this to send off, or if someone else wants to make a different sort of motion, that will be made and we'll vote in that way. So opening the floor for discussion.
Okay, Lauren, can you hear me?
Yes.
Lauren? Okay, great. I really like what you did with the second iteration of the letter. I think it's short to the point, and it doesn't overburden anybody with a lot of extra reading. So, I haven't been able to sit down and wordsmith it, but I think it looks fine. So, I will be happy to vote in favor of it. So, if you want a motion, I'll make the motion that we accept that letter.
Thank you, Teresa.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, so a second from Randy, first from Teresa. Any other discussion about this letter?
Why are we needing to submit this right now? What was the ask?
So the Mayor and Commission are voting on Atlanta Highway and the Lexington Road user groups recommendations at their next voting meeting, which is after Labor Day. So that's why we're in a hurry and had to do a special called meeting.
So this is for the plans that those groups have been working on over the past, 2 years? Oops, I think I might have frozen. My Wi-Fi is spotty.
Yeah. So those groups have put forth their final project recommendations that they've come up with. I guess I don't think it's been 2 years. I think it's been a little bit less than a year, but I think Teresa can speak better to that than I can.
Okay.
And so since the Mayor and Commission are about to vote on the user group recommendations, we're here to provide some context, some insight about how those fit in with Athens-Clarke County's larger goals for bike and pedestrian connectivity.
Okay, yes, thank you. I just definitely want this context going into T-SPLOS presentations regarding both of these corridors, so thank you.
Yes, thank you for your questions, Carly. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right. All those in favor of submitting this letter with our letterhead to the Mayor and Commission, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. All right, the letter carries. I will get this sent out to the Mayor and Commission this week with our letterhead. Thank you. On to the next brief item on our agenda. T-SPLOS presentations. These need to be submitted by 11:59 on Monday, so that's Labor Day. Thank you all for taking a look at the template that I had started. I hope that is giving us some good visuals to work with. I did go ahead and divide everything up into its own presentation now. So Atlanta Highway, Big Bucket, Lexington. I've talked with Jake about that before this call. Small sidewalks, and then ADA. And so just to go over what's in this stuff, there is, I went ahead and copy pasted the questions that presenters should be prepared to answer in their presentation, either in the slides or during the presentation. And each slide has a couple of slides I hope can be useful as a template. So you could, for example, copy and paste this slide here. The stuff that is in a particular color might be where you put a big idea or a couple of big ideas. You can do this more than once, and then gray slides are for lesser ideas. But Mark and I were talking earlier, and we were thinking probably about 10 to 12 slides for a 10-minute presentation. Does that sound right to you, Mark?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it depends on, sometimes you can just flash up an image or a photo or something for 10 seconds, but it's not really something you discuss. But yeah, in general, I tend to think in terms of no more than one slide per minute. But it depends. Everybody's style is a little different.
And this stuff, anything that's in white is really just for you guys at the beginning. I think that what you might end up doing is, if you're afraid to not have all the information that you want, you could put some stuff at the end of your presentation as bonus slides. So you can let the committee, the T-SPLOS committee, direct your presentation a little bit once you're done. So you might say like, well, I can elaborate on this if you want, and then you would have a slide to pull up. Like we do have the public input opportunities in detail on the Big Bucket. And there's a lot of, on Big Bucket in particular, there's a lot of general things about Athens in Motion that you're welcome to copy and paste over. I think what's going to be important is describing, in addition to describing what the project is that you have submitted and including maps and whatnot. And Danielle, I think I sent you an email. I need to get a map for Atlanta Highway. If anybody has time to get photos for your project, or if you already have photos, to put those in, that would be great. I'm out of town, and I can help from afar Sunday, Monday, but I won't be able to get anything besides screenshots of Google Maps, which I am happy to do.
Yeah, along those lines, Daniel, I'm going to be out of town this weekend actually too. But were there any? There's mentioned before maybe, or there were some photos of like disconnected bus stops. I know there was one on Lexington. Were there any others? I know there was some on the east side in the past, but I don't know if you knew of any photos of the disconnected
I took a bunch
bus
of
stops.
photos. This is Teresa. I took a bunch of photos of Atlanta Highway because I did a nice walking tour of that lovely pedestrian-friendly corridor. And, so we can use those for sure.
Oh, are those in the shared drive?
I
Yes.
can't answer that question. I won't be able to answer it until probably Friday at the earliest, because I won't have my computer till then.
Erin, I think that you can find Teresa's, and they're great photos showing the desire lines and goat paths. And there's a presentation in there, and I believe that the way I used it was I might have taken a screenshot if I wasn't able to save what she had put in there.
Okay, for it's under the Atlanta Highway and Lexington Corridor project.
Yeah, we definitely want to use some of those for Atlanta Highway presentation. Thanks, Teresa.
Yeah, thanks.
So I'm about to go on I'm leaving. Carly, just so you know, I'm leaving tomorrow to go to Michigan, and I'll be on the road for the whole day in the car. But I'm going to go for a walk shortly, and I'll take some photos along a few of the roads near me, like Pulaski and Barrow, and especially Barber, which has the crappy sidewalks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe something on Prince Avenue as well. So I'll take a few photos. If you can get any photos and want to send them to me, that'd be great. But I think that probably should be enough.
Awesome. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah. And then I'll be working on this presentation tomorrow. So maybe on Friday or Saturday, if you could look at it and, you know, see what you think, add stuff, delete stuff, whatever you want to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Teresa, I know you're out of town. You don't have your computer till Friday, but I would also love your help with the Atlanta Highway presentation. As you can.
You've got it, Carly. I will call you or text you as soon as I've got my computer and I can sit down and focus.
Awesome. Thank you.
We can set up whatever time you need.
Thank you.
I was also going to mention that it might be helpful for my safety presentation that I put together. I included Athens in Motion success measures, just to show, you know, some of those things like under connectivity. It shows 25% of identified sidewalk gaps have been addressed. That's one of those things where I think a lot of these projects and proposals fit a lot of the kind of goals that are short and medium term. Some of these even say, you know, safe routes to schools, biking in or walking for 50% of students within 2 miles of elementary or middle schools. You know, there's no particular timeline on that one, but some of these do have timelines, like sidewalk improvements included in capital improvement plan by 2020. I'm not sure off the top of my head if that was like achieved or not, but highlighting which of those kind of Athens in Motion success measures are being kind of accomplished by your project might be helpful, just to show, hey, you know, this is part of this larger plan, and you know, we are on a timetable and we need this funding for these things. And I think also bringing up another idea that we had was kind of what'll happen if you don't fund this, or what won't happen, you know. So it's important to talk about the things that this project will do, but you know, what will it cause? Like, what are the implications of not funding it?
That's a great point, Daniel. I think that that's some great advice. You know, the committee who is part of T-Splosh 2023, they're regular people who are making time. They're going to carve out a lot of time to listen to these presentations. And they may not be aware that there's not another funding option, that we don't have a line item in the Athens-Clarke County budget to construct sidewalks for anybody, or bike lanes or anything like that. So it just won't happen. So I think that that's a great thing to potentially include. Thank you. Something else I was going to suggest, and I talked to Mark about this already. In the beginning, I know we don't have a lot of time, but when you introduce yourselves, if you guys can present yourselves as humans and be a little bit vulnerable and just share like why you're doing this kind of work, I think it could be helpful for the committee to understand that we are the people who are in Athens in Motion, and that you yourselves are regular people just like them, volunteering their time, that you want to see something better for Athens just like they do. So that could be a brief little story. Just try and try and think back to what got you into this kind of citizen resident advocacy. I mean, it'll help folks relate to you a bit better. So be thinking of that.
Any chance for updates to presentations after the 6th, if we're not presenting for another couple weeks?
My understanding is because staff is still doing technical review, so if it needs to be updated because of technical reasons, I think they will allow for that. But I think the goal is to try and have everyone on an even playing field. Sorry, someone's calling me. Oh, that's my sister. Sorry, Ducky. To put everyone on an even playing field, and that's why everything is due at the same time. So it may be best to, have a good outline, and then anything you think you might need, just put at the end. And of course, people do not have to submit PowerPoint presentations, and you don't have to stick with what you have submitted.
Okay.
You could decide that, actually, I want to go in a different direction. That's fine.
Okay, good.
But you can't swap out the presentation, right? Like,
Correct. As far as I know.
So yeah, what we've been told is just whatever you submit as far as the presentation goes is fixed in place. But your talking points, obviously you can develop those. You don't have to send them your script or anything like that, and you're not bound to stick to that. And so just make sure that whatever is in the presentation is those are your major talking points that you can discuss your narrative around, if you're not able to get it done before then, or if you're not able to commit a large amount of time before then, I guess.
Thanks.
Can I ask when everyone's presentations are? And I can tell you when mine is.
Yes. I want to know as well.
Mine's September 22nd.
Nice. I'm September.
October 4th.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mine's September 26th.
26.
Yeah, Carly, I didn't know if they emailed you as well. Did you?
I did
Oh,
not. And in mine, they said, if there's somebody else presenting with you, then send them
Sorry, my bad.
their email. And so if you can if you can reply to that email and send them my email, then they'll send it to me. That'd be great.
Carly, when is yours?
Sorry, September 23rd, 6:30.
Mine is September 8th.
Whoa.
So are you available,
Mine are-
Carly, for the October 4th?
Let's see what happens.
If you want to tune into Public Works, mine are September 8th, 13th, and 16th.
Awesome.
I'll be tuning in, Stephen.
I know you will be.
Yeah, and so Lexington is September 28th, so that's Jake. Jake's is September 28th at 9:00 in the evening.
Wow.
Yeah. All right, so let me just make sure that I have that written down, that I got everyone. So Aaron, you're September 22nd with ADA. Carly, you're September 23rd with Atlanta Highway. Randy, you're September 26th.
Correct.
All right. Jake is September 28th. That is interesting that they spread us out. I think I like that. Mark, you're October 4th with Carly.
Yeah, and I just CC'd you, Carly, on that email.
Awesome. Thank you.
And so even though presentations are due, we do have time to get them together and to practice. So if you guys would like an audience, I will do my best to be there. I want to be there. And if there's anyone else who is on the Athens in Motion Commission who would like to help with that, or help with presentations and take a look at things, happy to have you. Definitely need some fresh eyes. I think that, it was a lot to turn in the project proposals, and then also having this other deadline right on the heels of that. It's not easy. So could probably use some fresh eyes on things. So, would appreciate that. Everything is in the drive. And I was going to say, as you're creating your presentations, hopefully you have some draft of your project proposals, because they didn't give us, they didn't email back what we submitted, did they?
I got mine.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
I didn't.
Just me?
Don't remember
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I need to confirm, but I'm almost positive.
I'll ask for it.
Okay.
I,
So you-
I'm sorry, I have to leave the meeting. I've
okay.
a planning and zoning meeting that I have to walk
Okay.
into here quick. So,
Randy, before you go real quick,
yes.
do you feel okay with, because I know you had already started your presentation. Do you feel okay with working with what you have and putting it in the template?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of trimming it down some because I essentially just bullet pointed a lot of the application itself. But so it's to make it more of a paragraph style. And actually, one bit of information it would be interesting to find, and I'm not sure who to ask, but of the existing sidewalk program, how many neighborhoods have taken advantage of it and who they were?
That would be 0.
Okay,
Oh,
that's easy.
wow. Okay, there's your answer.
Okay,
All right.
well,
Thank you, Randy.
sure. And
Randy?
we'll see that.
So I did get it. It came from like a no reply, but it says Splost office, and it has a entire the form that was submitted. So all the information is in.
Nice. Okay. Thanks, Carly, because maybe that's just hanging around in either a different tab, like or junk inboxes or something like that. So look for that.
Sorry, you cut out there. What was the title? What was the subject line?
The subject is T-Splost 2023 project submission form, and it's from Splost office. And the email is a like no reply with numbers at formstack.com.
Okay, I can get it.
Maybe it went to you since you submitted it, Lauren or Daniel.
Should go to the
Whichever
email address.
email.
Okay.
Whichever
I didn't
email
get
was
it.
could be.
All right, we'll figure this out.
Yep.
And I just sent out the success measures to everyone. So I have it I clipped it just kind of half screen so that you could still read it in a presentation format. So, and then I just used the box in PowerPoint to draw a little highlight box around the ones that were accomplished. And I figured it's just good talking points. So.
Thank you, Daniel. Quick question. You had a map of some of the tier 1 projects and some of the double tier 1 projects. Do you still have that anywhere that's accessible?
That was more of like a visualization of our data, but since then, I'm just not completely confident that the data is accurate.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I left off on that. Was once Ray's grant started, I've kind of been going since then on all of this stuff one after another. So hopefully soon I'll be able to get back and start working through that data to sort it out and make sure that I'm at least 90% confident in my data set.
All right. Understood, Daniel. Thank you. And so, Mark, I guess we could just use that screenshot from the Athens in Motion plan and say like the blue items are tier 1, unless we have come up with something different or better.
Okay.
And I think highlighting what's written, which is, in the application, which is the tier 1 can change after kind of reevaluation. This is a living document. This map is not meant to dictate which projects will be funded. It's more a representation of what that tiering system is. But highlighting that as we reevaluate those projects, those tiers will change, but the funding will still be able to be directed towards the newer tier 1 projects.
All right. Any other questions, information that folks need as they work on presentations this week? Okay, I have a flight back on Sunday, so I'm able to look at presentations then, and then I'll be back Monday, and I'm happy to do phone calls Monday afternoon if you guys are working on stuff before you submit it. So just let me know. And I'll try and be responsive to emails, but I might be a little in and out. Okay.
Enjoy your trip. Enjoy your vacation. Don't work too much.
I know. Thanks for meeting with us, even though you're on break.
Well, it's just how all of our summers have been, right? We're trying to like get some leave in, but also keep things rolling. That's how we roll in Athens in motion. Keep it in motion. Keep it in motion. All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone, and I will let you know when I send off that letter. Okay.
Great. Thanks. Yep.
Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Hi,
Bye.